Lots of changes for dinosaurs in the Path of Titans public test branch that we can explore today. These are stuff that are in-game and I can showcase in-game, as well as some stat changes which I'll be talking about first. How I'll do this is basically I'll go over the stat changes and stuff that aren't in-game first, then we're going to hop in-game and look at every dinosaur that's got some love in terms of new abilities. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Lots of general dinosaur changes, some stat changes, as well as some reworks for some dinosaurs too, so let's just go ahead and have a look at them all and talk about them. For Dinosaurus, they've added the Dinosaurus thick hide and disabled all other Dinosaurus hides for now. They've also lowered Dinosaurus's weight slightly. For Stegosaurus, they've fixed Stegosaurus's resilient scales not appearing. Deinonychus gets some love as well, fixed Deinonychus having thump when landing, slightly increased swim speeds for Latina Venatrix and Deinonychus. For Kentro, you've got increased Kentrosaurus tail attack by 25%, increased hide, passive bleed and damage by 50% as well. Next we've got Allosaurus, which has slightly reduced Allosaurus sprint speed, slightly increased Allosaurus's stamina recovery and turn speed. Basboldi has got its head slot re-added back. For Spinosaurus, they've reduced the bite attack and claw attack damage slightly. They've also reduced the weight of the dinosaur as well. For Tyrannosaurus, they've reduced the weight and health slightly as well. For Eotriceratops, they've slightly reduced Eotriceratops's turning speed, removed speed reduction when using sharpened horns ability, slightly decreased base health, increased stamina recovery by 50%, and slightly lowered the weight of the dinosaur. Styracosaurus has its increased stamina recovery by 50%. They've also doubled Styraco's precise movement speeds, increased Styracosaurus's turn speed slightly, updated Styracosaurus's subspecies effects. Styracosaurus now deals bleed damage with its horn attack or its spike head attack. Sarcosuchus has its health lowered by 60%, updated Sarco's locomotion animations as well. For Iguanodon, they've lowered its running stamina by 60% and removed its head slot. For Kaiwekia, they've increased the swimming speed slightly. For Albertoceratops, they've also improved Albertoceratops' jump animation to look smoother. And for swimming dinosaurs all around, they've decreased swim speeds of many of the swimming dinosaurs. And that's pretty much that. Now we can go into the in-game stuff and showcase some of the new abilities and talk about them that are in-game. Hello everybody, we are in game of course, and there are a couple things that I do want to showcase and talk about regarding some of the creatures that are in the game. Firstly, we've got Camptosaurus. Now, with Campto, it is the same as Deinonychus, so I'm just going to show it from Campto's perspective, because this is literally the only ability that this creature has gotten in a while. Deinonychus has the same ability. This is a voice ability called Alert Call. Group members deal 20% increased damage with their next attack when out of combat, which is actually quite a good ability. You can then apply it like this. Now, I'm not sure if it has a call or animation or sound just yet. We can test it out and see, but yeah, your next attack will be buffed until then that attack happens. Like, once it's done, the buff runs out, and it's just on a basis of one attack when you're not in combat. So let's do it. So at the moment it's got the standard attack, then you've got a minute of buff and then 7 minutes of cooldown, which obviously could be due to change, but then you have a buffed attack, and I assume it's when that next attack lands. So I could be biting like this and it won't register unless it's an attack that lands. Also, I'm not sure how it's going to play when you're actively in combat. It'll probably just be like if you've got the combat timer on, you won't be able to do the ability. Anyways, let's move to the next creature that's got some love in game. Pycnonemosaurus has some love as well. This was 2 leg abilities that the creature got. It got strong legs, which is taking 40% less knockback and 15% increased bone break healing. And then it's got gripping claws, which is 20% faster when on the ground or turning on the ground, which is actually pretty neat as well. The best way to showcase that is just to really quickly just walk in a circle, run in a circle. As you can see, it does feel a lot tighter on that turn radius, and it's also a lot faster now. And I wonder if it's the same for precise movement. I'm pretty sure it's not, but here is the precise movement as well. Now, Pycno obviously is slowly getting some love. It's nice to see that these creatures are now getting love, because Pycno did release in a sorry state when it was released to the game. Anyways, let's move to the next one that's gotten love, and that is Sarcosuchus. Sarco is an interesting one because it's got a brand new running. Yeah, its old run was what's on the screen now. This is a clip from, I believe, Sarco's trailer. It was basically a gallop. Now, I do want to say the gallop itself is going to be in its own ability, and that is called Gator Dash. A rapid forward dash can only be used on land. So you've got that, and you've got Lunge, which is quick speed boost in water. So yeah, that old run will still be there just as an ability, but the new run is this. Yeah, it's quite interesting now, and that is Sarco's locomotion animations updated, as well as Gator Dash. Now, Gator Dash isn't available just yet. It's not available to showcase, so I can't showcase that. I'll probably showcase it in a future stream on the PTB when the time comes. A very small change for Alioramus now, and that is that it's got a new hide slot. Now, this is the only hide slot currently, but it's dense feathers, which increases bleed resistance by 40%. It looks like they've changed what dense feathers does. Now it looks like it's bleed resistance rather than a increased, you know, health, so to say, or increased health pool. So it's nice that we're finally knowing what these are for. 40% is a big increase there, and a big resistance increase, so it's actually a fairly decent hide. I'll be interested to see what the next hides this dinosaur gets are in the future. That's all the love that Alioramus has got for now. Suchomimus also has a new sense ability, and that is called Drenched Blows. Now, it's interesting because this one also technically has amphibious scales as well, which is dry out much slower while on land, which I think is interesting. What does it mean by dry out slower? Does it mean like you get thirsty, like it takes longer to get thirsty or something like that? Maybe you will be the type of dinosaur that regenerates your thirst while you're in the water. That'll be interesting. But then again, you've got this ability called Drenched Blows, which is dealing 10% increased damage to wet targets, which obviously if your target has this hide ability, it kind of goes hand in hand. They're now at a disadvantage because if you've got Drenched Blows, you're going to be attacking people who are pretty wet in the water. And obviously you mix and match it with Nictating Membrane. You do that, then you go out the water, you switch to Drenched Blows, and then you can get people who are coming out of the water as well and get them while they're still wet, which is an interesting ability. It's something I wasn't really expecting to see in the game, but yeah, that's that one, Drenched Blows. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. It's very interesting. So, some other dinosaurs that have just gotten updates that were added to the live branch include Styracosaurus. So, the main thing here is that its subspecies effects have changed. Now, for Albertensis, which was standard, it now has plus 2 times frill damage, which is interesting because that's to do with obviously the horns on its frill. Then of course you've got Decornus, which I believe this one was defense or speed, I'm not too sure, but this has plus 10% stamina recovery, so I'm assuming that was defense. And then you've got Spinocordis, which is plus 3% attack damage. So no longer, there is no more speed defense standard, there's now frill damage, stamina recovery, and attack damage, which is very cool. And it makes me wonder if Styracosaurus is going to be the next creature to get some love, because I do believe this one is quite an old model, so it's probably only fair that this one gets some love. Up next we have Anodontosaurus, which has a brand new ability, or 2 new abilities. You've got Strong Legs, which is take 40% less knockback and 15% increased bone break healing, which is an interesting one. And then you also have Lone Survivor, which is plus 10% armor increase and increased maneuverability when you are not in a group. So it looks like a lot of dinosaurs are getting passive abilities that involve them not being in a group, which is going to be quite interesting. Other dinosaurs that got Lone Survivor include Pachycephalosaurus and Amargasaurus. However, Amargasaurus got another one as well called Sturdy. So with this, we have a new ability for Amargasaurus as well, called Sturdy, which is an immunity to knockback effects. Now this is a sensor's ability, so it's a passive ability. You just equip it, and while it's equipped, you'll have that immunity there. So it's quite interesting. Are you going to be a lone survivor that has increased armor and increased maneuverability, or are you going to be immune to knockback effects? That's going to be interesting. But if we were talking about some other abilities, Albertoceratops has the same ability Anodontosaurus has, which is strong legs. So they've got the same ability there. And these 4 or 5 creatures that have gotten some love have all gotten just basically 2 abilities, which is strong legs, lone survivor, and that's it, and sturdy as well. But Amargasaurus is the only one that's got sturdy. To basically dumb it down, Albertoceratops and Anodontosaurus got strong legs. Amargasaurus and Anodontosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus got lone survivor, and Amargasaurus got sturdy. So that's pretty much where those new updates are. And yeah, what do you think about these new passive abilities for herbivores? Let me know. And there we have it. Let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Lots of cool stuff coming to the game in the future. I'm excited to see all this. I'd love to know what you think as well. Yeah, I'm excited for all this new stuff coming to the game. This passive abilities and stuff like that is shaping up nicely. I wonder if there's going to be another dinosaur that gets a rework as well. Seems there's some other biomes that are slowly getting reworks, and I'll showcase them in the next video that I cover this on. But yeah, it's apparent that every week at the moment now, every video is basically a Path of Titans news video from the PTB, which is quite crazy. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. And if you are new, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.